About a week ago, a 12-year-old boy asked me, "What happened at the Capitol?" He had seen video recordings of rioters attacking police officers, senators and staff members hiding under furniture, and photos of a mob armed with baseball bats and other weapons. I told him I would end our study hall 15 minutes before the end of class. Then I would try my best to answer the questions of the class about what happened on January 6th in Washington, D.C. Then I said, for the next 15 minutes, I want you to concentrate on your science lesson. It is rarely easy to explain what happens in the adult world to children. In this video, I'd like to offer some background because the lessons learned on January 6th are so important to the future of the United States. Many children have never heard the words incite, sedition, or insurrection before, so I'll keep what I say to its simplest form. In addition, I will ask as many questions as possible rather than draw conclusions. If you are a parent, older brother or sister, or a teacher, I hope this video helps you in your discussions with youngsters. This world is confusing enough. When we bring understanding to our communities, then we can begin our journey towards peace and harmony. Let's begin by looking at what a constitution is. A constitution is a set of written rules that tell us the powers, duties, and rights of people in a group. If you are given a power, it's limited by what the Constitution says. If you're assigned a duty, you're supposed to faithfully perform what the Constitution says. If you don't, you can resign, or other officials can impeach you. Impeach means they can charge you with a wrong against the group. Please keep in mind that the powers, duties, and rights under the U.S. Constitution are not absolute. We don't put all our eggs in one basket. Everything is shared. The president does not wield all the powers of the government. Congress shares some of the power, and our judges and justices have the power to decide important questions. We have over 340 million people in this country, so there has to be a balance and shared responsibility towards each other. Let me give you an example of rights being balanced and not absolute. The First Amendment of the Constitution gives all of us the right to free speech. However, the Constitution does not protect all speech. If you say false things publicly in order to harm the reputation of others, these people can choose to file lawsuits against you. Or if you were to yell "fire" in a crowded theater and people are injured on the way out, they also can file lawsuits against you. Now, let's return to what happened in the days leading up to January 6th. The executive branches in each of our 50 states counted, and in some cases recounted, and in some cases counted a third time, with cameras and witnesses watching, the results of the ballots submitted on November 3rd, 2020. In each case, every state certified that there was little or no voter fraud or mistakes. In our courts, attorneys brought 62 lawsuits claiming that there was widespread fraud and conspiracies. But each of these lawsuits were tossed out because there was no evidence to support them. In the media, reporters from most but not all, news outlets reported that there was no widespread voter fraud. They quoted dozens of elected officials and judges. The mob that gathered at the Capitol on January 6th refused to believe what elected officials and the media were trying to tell them. They chanted, "Hang Mike Pence," and sprayed "Murder the media" on public property. Now, let's ask ourselves a few questions. Is evidence important? Is it acceptable to threaten people because they disagree? Is it acceptable to harm others to get the result that you want? We saw terrible violence at our Capitol on January 6th. The American public is like a gigantic jury. We can decide whether we find the actions of the rioters at the Capitol acceptable or not. Ask your heart of hearts. Would I hit someone with a baseball bat because he disagrees with me? What justifies violence? Is there a better way? Did I listen to both sides? Hundreds of cameras brought us striking images. Think about what motivated the rioters to do what they did. What caused them to choose violence? Is this the American way? If you agree with the rioters, ask yourself, why? If you disagree with the rioters, ask yourself, how can I help prevent this from happening again? I feel very fortunate to live in the Aloha State. Here, we often use the word pono to describe doing the right thing. Throughout your life, do what is pono, and you will find peace. Aloha.